Now it looks like finally things are going down in the TVA. Things are going down. This has been my favorite Loki episode so far. Loki episode 4 has been so full of many surprises, a lot of reveals, and a lot of questionable things that I like to discuss to you about. So this is my Loki episode 4 review, and what I want to make clear is that this has been my favorite episode of the entire season. Finally, I felt like things were moving, and I was so sad when the episode ended because I need answers. I need them right now. I need them as bad as Sylvie needs them. Loki episode 4 starts with Renslayer going through these doors into like an ice chamber. And guys, for real, I couldn't believe that she was going down to see the timekeepers. I thought they were fake. And that opening shot, they looked so intimidating. I was so scared. This ominous music and this scary icy looking throne room was very well made. I really enjoyed it. So we go back to this planet that is literally about to freaking explode, and we see that Loki is just chilling with Sylvie, having a conversation just about when this moon is going to crash into them. And then suddenly, the unexpected happened for me. Was Loki falling in love with Sylvie? And is that what triggered the Nexus event? Guys, I honestly couldn't believe what was happening. And then they get rescued, of course, because we still have 2 more episodes to go, duh. And then they go back to the TVA. So Loki tells Mobius that the TVA has all been a lie and that the people working at the TVA are variants. We knew it. We knew it. We knew it all along, right? It was so obvious since the first episode of Loki that this whole TVA and how it was created by the timekeepers, or as Loki likes to call them, these space lizards, was all a lie. We all guessed it since episode 1. Then Mobius, of course, doesn't believe it and sends Loki to this time loop, and to my surprise, I was so happy to see the return of an underrated MCU female character. That's Lady Siff, played by Jamie Alexander. Guys, seeing her made me really miss her, and I hope we get to see her again in the 4th Thor movie, Thor Love and Thunder. So Mobius tells Hunter B-15 from the TVA what Loki told him about the so-called TVA, and she herself starts to doubt too. So she goes to Sylvie to try to get some answers. So Sylvie is able to tell her that her life at the TVA has all been a lie and that she's still in disbelief, and Sylvie is able to use her magic on her and to show her the life that she used to have outside of the TVA. Now, I do gotta say, this was a really great scene with the music and everything, but something that would have made it even better for me is that I wish they would have showed us her life outside of the TVA instead of us watching her reaction discovering her past life. So Loki is stuck in this time loop with Lady Siff. Meanwhile, Mobius is starting to doubt the TVA because of what Loki told him, so he steals Renslayer's little remote device to sneak up on her funny business. And then in fact realizes that Renslayer is skipping information from not only him, but the entire TVA. So Mobius goes back to Loki and they agree to trust each other and work together to bring down the TVA. So they get out, and who's waiting for them? Renslayer. She's all acting suspicious because she knows now that they mean business, so Mobius confronts her and straight up tells her that he basically knows about his past life before the TVA. And then Renslayer tells one of the guards to prune Mobius. Now guys, I was really shocked. I couldn't believe that we just saw Mobius freaking disappear into the unknown. Because that's pretty much what they've established as pruning. You die, you disappear. Then Renslayer decided to take Sylvie and Loki to meet the timekeepers. And guys, I gotta say, I was so excited to go back and visit this cold, scary looking icy chamber and get a better look at the timekeepers. And I gotta give a shout out to the sound engineers of the Loki show on how they made the timekeepers sound. They were so intimidating on the way they spoke. It felt very big and very grand. I loved it. But all of my opinion went away when we got into the close-ups and we got a closer look at the timekeepers. Guys, I was extremely disappointed with how the timekeepers looked. The visual effects on the timekeepers were so wonky, it literally took me out of it. So things are going not so great for Loki and Sylvie, but B-15 shows up to help them because she finally realized the truth about the TVA, hands Sylvie a sword, and they all start fighting each other, and it was great because we do love a good action scene. Sylvie is fighting Renslayer, Loki is fighting these guards, and they both managed to defeat who they were fighting. And then all who was left were the timekeepers. And Sylvie decided to throw the knife at one of the timekeepers, cut off his head, and guys, I was in total shock. I couldn't believe that it was that easy. But then we later find out that the timekeepers are actually robots. The timekeepers are robots. What? Guys, like, they can't be playing with my head like that. First, they tell us that they're real. Then we don't believe them. Then they literally showed us, the timekeepers, that they're real. And then it turns out that they were robots all along. I'm sorry, I just can't. Loki and Sylvie are then left there in disbelief, just like me. And Loki is all like, we're going to figure it out. And then Sylvie is all like, how do you know that? And then Loki starts to like fall in love with her again. And guys, this was very confusing and hard for me to watch, because in all honesty, you guys, I was so happy and excited about the fact that the MCU was brave enough and bold enough to state that Loki, a main character in the MCU, is bi, and that he's been flirting around with princesses as well as perhaps a prince. So it's very disappointing for them to now want to give Loki a love interest and have it be a she. I want Loki's love interest to be a he from now on, and I won't take anything else for an answer, because then what's the purpose of them saying it if they're not gonna show us that? So I honestly thought it was a little bit of a cheap move, but who knows, he might get a male love interest in the future. One can only hope. Hey Sarah Finn, call me. Then of course, Renslayer wasn't dead, and she ends up pruning Loki, and then we're all like, no! And then Sylvie is able to grab that stick away from her, and then Sylvie is all like, you're gonna tell me everything. And then we're all like, yeah, next week. But I'm happy. And I'm happy because we need answers. And who's really behind this? Oh my god. Guys, is it Kang? Kang. Literally us manifesting Kang for the next 2 episodes of Loki. And then we get a Loki post credit scene. So we go back to Loki, and he's of course alive because, you know, it's his series. So he wakes up and he's wondering where he is. Is it hell? Where is he? Is he back in Asgard? What's going on? And he wakes up and sees a bunch of Loki variants that we've never seen before. We got Richard Grant donning the original Loki costume from the comics. We got a kid Loki. And did you guys notice that crocodile Loki? I couldn't. So of course, they're all gonna band together to defeat and bring down the TVA once and for all. So I'm so excited for the final 2 episodes of Loki. I cannot wait. So this was my review for Loki episode 4. I would totally love to know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments, because I love to hear you guys' thoughts. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. And if you also enjoyed the video, please help me out with a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. Anyway guys, that's it for me. I'm Rafa, your Latin friend over here from Hollywood, California, talking about the world of entertainment and its stars. And I'll be seeing you in the next video.